This is the Rebel Scum Podcast. Available in video on YouTube and audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Every week, Brock and James talk the latest rumors, news, and theories from a galaxy far, far away. Support us on Patreon for exclusive offers and join the Star Wars discussion. Patreon.com/RebelScumPodcast. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
You are always scum. Rebel scum.
James, happy post-Easter.
Happy post-Easter.
Peaster.
You have a good one?
I don't know if you were watching any television this weekend.
No.
I happened upon on Sunday night, or I think I saw it on Saturday as well, that Showcase in Canada. I think Showcase is in the States. I think it's like our version of Showtime.
I believe it's Showtime.
Yeah. They showed a marathon, I think, for 48 hours, or maybe perhaps the entire weekend of Easter, all the Star Wars movies in chronological order. Like at one point, I turned it on. It was prequels. The next, it was trilogy, and it was just on and on. I didn't watch it, though I kept seeing parts of it because I was watching Rogers On Demand shows. So, like, it was on that channel already. So every time it would end, it would go back to Star Wars. And it's just like, oh, wow.
People like Star Wars.
Like, I brought it up at work today. I was like, man, there was so much Star Wars on. It's like, well, I guess people got tired watching the Ten Commandments. I'm like, yeah, that is true. That is like the Easter movie. The Ten
I think that was still on, though.
Oh, I'm sure
that's the Passover movie. That's actually the weekend before Easter, I believe. Or somewhere around there.
It ends the day before, right? Because, well, if we go to the Bible, they had the Last Supper on the last day of Passover.
No, but I believe this year it was the weekend before Easter. It was on TV because that's when I think Passover was the weekend before Easter this year.
Well, it starts the weekend before, but the last day is the.
I know, Sunday. But I think this year they played it on TV the weekend before Ten Commandments.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what they did. So yeah. I'm trying to get our audios to match here because yeah. So because I saw it on that was the one thing I did see. I looked at the
yeah.
Well, I mean, for a lot of people, Star Wars is the new Bible, so it is.
And on the third day, Kathleen Kennedy was fired.
Did you hear she got fired and hired Brie Larson?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brie Larson is now a member of Star Wars. I believe she's playing Luke Skywalker and a Porg in an upcoming movie.
Luke Porgwalker. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't understand the obsession that Star Wars, I don't know if they're fans or haters or whatever, have with Brie Larson and Star Wars. Okay, here's what I can figure out. She is a nerd, a self-proclaimed nerd, so I'm not, she's a nerd. She loves Star Wars. She was at Galaxy's Edge opening. There's the pictures of her with the lightsaber, like, oh, look at me, I'm a Jedi. She said she loves Star Wars. Mm-hmm. She's also said that she doesn't need I believe she said she doesn't need a white man to tell her if she should like a movie about a black child or something like that. I believe that's what she said.
Cool.
And so everybody hates her because of that.
Awesome.
I'll say this. I when it comes to celebrities, Brock, I don't care about their opinions.
Yeah.
On anything, just show up, do your job, entertain me, and move on. They can have an opinion, they can spew all they want. I don't have to care. I don't care about people that I know's opinion, let alone people I don't know who are in movies that I like or maybe even borderline like. So none of that matters to me. Let them say what they want. It doesn't affect me. But there's this weird obsession with Brie Larson, and somebody else was like, I hate Brie Larson. She hates men. I'm like, really? Did she knock on your door? I hate you! You're a man! And walked away. I don't know. Maybe she does. I don't know. I think she has a boyfriend or a husband or something, though. So she can't hate them all.
It's so funny how much we talk about social justice warriors on this show, and like, meanwhile, Reham, WGR, or yeah. It's like, is that what we call her? WGR. Yes. She's like, oh, now there's people shaming because the big topic is Asian lives because of the terrible things that have happened in the last month.
Yeah.
So now people are like, well, you can't. If you're cooking something, you can't have Asian things if you're not an Asian. Like, it just all these things that are people are apologizing for trying Asian cuisine or like doing their own spin on it. And then there's even like, she showed me something recently where it was like, if you could walk into a store and pull something off the rack and buy it because it fits you, that's your thin shaming or thin. What is it? What's the word that everyone keeps throwing around when it's like that's your
shaming? Privilege?
No, not shaming. Like, it's like, oh, you never think about that. That's your
privilege.
Oh God. Privilege. Thank you. It's like your thin privilege. You're like, what does that even mean? Like, I could walk into a store and buy a pair of pants and walk out. I'm also a man. That's how we shop, right? Am I right,
Absolutely.
James? Am I right? Men be shopping, James.
The only thing I have to try on 100% are shoes because my feet are a weird size. I can't buy shoes online. Everyone's like, just buy them online. I can't. We're in lockdown. I can't get new shoes because I don't fit into crap. I'm like a weird size where I'm like kind of one size. But one time I got, because when I was running a lot, my parents bought me running shoes.
Yeah.
And I didn't like them. They did, because And so I went back. I'm like, these shoes, they're not working for me. They're going to break my kneecap is what I think I said. I'm like, okay, we'll pick another shoe. I picked the same brand shoe. I was 2 sizes bigger on the other shoe. Same brand. 2 sizes bigger. I was like, what a scam is this? I mean, it was nice. I was like a size 14 or something. I'm a 9.5. But on these ones, I'm like an 11 or 12. It was ridiculous. I was like, this is not real. And running shoes, you do get your sizes usually are a bit different because your feet swell up while you're running.
Yeah.
But not 3 sizes, and that's without me running. That was me in the store. Like, these are, but yeah, I'm with you, man. I could online. I'll buy like shirts, pants, whatever. I don't care. I know my waist size. I know what'll fit me. I don't care. And if it doesn't, I'm still gonna wear it and look good.
Yeah. So it's just like. I mean, I know this isn't any new thing. Like, people have been trolling on the internet for decades.
It's beyond that now, though.
Do you think it's like amplified because people are so done of being trapped inside? Like, it's just like, bro, I can't go outside, so I will go into the internet.
It might be, and I've been thinking a lot. Not thinking about. It's not like I don't sit at home on a notepad thinking about this, but I've been thinking like the whole Zack Snyder verse thing that's going on right now, right? Where everyone's like, restore the Snyder verse. They got the Snyder Cut. It was a huge success. I heard HBO though Max is like trying to hide it. Like Warner Bros is like, no, it's not here. Like, they don't want you to see that it's even there. Like, they're like, forget about it. It's not real. Watch this movie. But and everyone's like, restore the Snyderverse. We deserve the Snyderverse. It's like, okay, we don't deserve it. Like, that's a weird thing to say. But I mean, I on one hand, I'm like, that would be cool to see. I mean, because if the Snyder Cut is this resounding success that everyone's saying that it is, a studio would typically greenlight a sequel to it that weekend, right? Mm-hmm. Like, like Godzilla got Godzilla 2 the opening day. They're like, opening day, Godzilla 2. Yeah. Gareth Edwards got Rogue One because of Godzilla's opening weekend. Like, that's how it works. But this one, they're like, it was resounding success. Everyone's like, this is the best thing ever. And Warner Bros. Was like, no, we're done. We're moving on. So on one hand, I completely agree with Warner Brothers because they can't let the mob take over. Yeah. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
On the other hand, they're stupid because, I mean, if it's a huge hit and that's what people want and they have a platform for it, that's stupid. But at the same time, you can't let the mob run it. And they did that. Like, when Sonic happens, when Ninja Turtles happens, when Snyder Cut happens, it's a scary precedent because now people feel like they have a right. And every movie that comes out, Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi, people are going to feel like, well, that's not the movie I wanted. No. And it's like, but it's not like, and I think you can argue the original trilogy and maybe even the prequels are art forms. I don't know necessarily, maybe Last Jedi, but I don't think Force Awakens or Rise of Skywalker are technically art. They're more like, hey, this is a fun movie. And it's not diminishing what it is. It's different from, Citizen Kane or like a Cronenberg movie. But like, so it's a weird time where people are outraged at nothing. Everything is over amplified, and the things that people should get outraged over, they are, which is whatever. But then they're like, well, because I won that battle, I'm going to go to town on this. And how dare you have peanuts in your peanut butter? And it spirals out of control. Everyone needs to step back. And if you are a banker, a burger flipper, a garbage man, a lawyer, you stay in your lane. None of you are filmmakers or storytellers of any kind. I mean, of some kind, sure, on a campfire. I don't tell you how to do. Well, not that I'm them, but they don't tell you how to be a lawyer, right?
I don't come to your job. And
that's what it is, though. Like, I complain to Amazon when something's bad. I do. We all do. You have a right to complain when you don't like a movie. But you don't say, change the damn movie or anything like that. Yeah. This topic went out of hand. What I'm trying to get at is, all Star Wars movies are perfect.
Perfect. Rebel Scum Podcast coming at you with Star Wars. My name is Brock. This is...
J.J. Abrams!
Yo, I was like, we should just start calling you JJ for no reason.
Well, half of that is correct.
Yeah, no, like we should go JR, but I'm like, nah, JJ.
JJ.
The jet plane.
I'll be JJ. You could be RJ.
Yes.
Do you know your initials are like the worst to cut down?
What do you mean?
It's full of BS.
Yeah.
You have a middle name though, right?
Yeah. Poop. No, Franklin. Yeah. BFS coming at you.
Boofs.
Boofs. Boofs. I didn't even read the rundown. I read parts of the rundown, the stuff that I
True story. Today's rundown is last week's rundown minus a new Never Tell Me the Odds and top 5 Ewoks from the cartoon because the vintage Star Wars vintage on Disney Plus. I gotta say, they did it right. I haven't watched any of it. I don't even know it's in Canada. Sooner Thrawn asked. I said, I don't know. I haven't checked. It was Easter. I haven't had a chance. But I saw people post. It's called Star Wars Vintage, and it's like the old, that old. And I'm like, that's how you do it. You don't have to pretend it doesn't exist. You do it. And I've seen people are now falling in love with the Tartakovsky, which is my favorite. That might be my favorite Star Wars, period. I love it. I have it on DVD. They're beautiful works of art, and they're short and sweet and to the point. But have you watched any of them on Disney Plus?
No, I just there it is.
You saw it? I haven't been on Disney Plus since before it came out, so I don't even know.
So it's there. Not only did that happen, I mean, this might be different in the States because Canada, we have different things, and we don't have Hulu. So since we don't have Hulu, we have Star. More and more FX stuff is on there. Like every season, I think, of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is now on.
I've never seen that show.
Well, you can watch it all, and it also has The League, so it's getting all the. Like, it doesn't have American Horror Story yet, which is a big title, but it's starting to get FX, which is huge. I remember when Star opened, I'm like, oh, could you imagine if FX, and then like a month later, here we are. Like maybe it's contractual, I don't know, but I would really like if like Legion would show up on there because that's a show I never really finished watching. So I just like Disney Plus. I'm like. It's really giving Netflix its run for its money. I mean,
it has the subscriber base of Netflix almost now.
Yeah, it's wild.
I didn't go on it because it was Easter, so I didn't watch anything from Friday to Saturday. So like Wednesday to last night, Erin watches that For All Mankind on Apple. That's the show that she watches, and she watched that late last night. That was the only thing that we watched on TVs. Oh, and the Leaf game on Friday.
Boom, boom.
Oh, Canada.
Sports.
Boom, 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 boom.
The Jays are playing in Texas right now to 40,000. 40,000? Is that the number?
Well, it's 38 something. But we'll
like, is it full or are you just saying the capacity?
I believe it's full. 38,000. And I heard because we're recording. It's Texas. Monday night. Sorry, guys. It's not live. But I've heard.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna watch when we get off. I want to look at it. But apparently, like no one's in a mask. 28% of them, I believe, are vaccinated. Ontario has, I think, 1% vaccination rate. We are pathetic, by the way. Like this nation is becoming a joke, and we were not.
It doesn't help that America is making the vaccine in their country, so obviously it's a little bit faster.
We I have a lot of issues with what's going on here, and we'll talk about that on our next podcast. James's issue with politics. First of all, I hate all politics.
Angry in the Woods with James Rosile.
I will say this: I went to a pharmacy today for work. For work, not
nice.
for work, and I used hand sanitizer 4,000. Although I told you when Aaron was in the hospital 2 years ago, they had the hand sanitizer, and I told you like how many people use it or whatever. I think I boosted those numbers that year. I did not. If I touched something in the hospital, bam, bam. Sometimes I would sanitize bathroom, wash my hands, sanitize, then go back to the bathroom and wash my hands. It was like I was just like obsessed. Aaron made fun of me twice.
I was at Walmart or a grocery store, and they had a shelf full of the tiny Purell bottles. I'm like, wow.
These were novelty. I have a drawer full of those because every birthday and Christmas, Aaron would get me like 2.
Yeah.
So I was ready for this moment.
So
I love sanitizing my hands. It's
little by little, but Star Wars.
No news this week, which is going to make the show very exciting for everybody listening.
No news.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. It's going to be great.
Good night.
Fridays.
Patreon.
Though, I will say Fridays on wherever you listen to your pod. Well, Wednesdays is us, yeah. But Fridays where you listen to podcasts, you get Infinity Rewatch, where Andrew and Ryan J. Whitehead break down that week's. What's the show called? The Falconeer. It's the Falconeer, right?
And you know what? Those dingbats gotta be careful with how they post their stuff, because in the last one, Andrew put something in there as a reference to the episode, and I'm like, oh great, it wasn't a huge spoiler, but at the same note, I'm like, dude, I haven't watched it yet, so.
Oh, I don't look at his posts because I share them. I don't look at them. And I haven't seen one episode of his show, so everything is a spoiler for me right now. Zemo!
I'm like, come on.
I know Zemo dances.
Kind of.
And Saturday on RSPN Detours, you can see the video version of that.
Coolio.
Anyway, for all the Marvel fans, because that's what's out right now. Loki trailer dropped. I didn't see that. I didn't watch the Loki.
I didn't see that.
But I haven't seen the Falconeer. Is it good?
I like it. Reham just crushed the first 3 episodes today because she was off from work and she loved it. And she's like, wow, makes me want to watch all the Captain America movies. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of true. They're doing a really, really good job of the world that existed in those Captain America and the characters that were only in those movies are way more interesting right now. So it's ooh. So yeah. She might rewatch Age of Ultron. I'm like, wow.
Wow, that's saying something. I like as I said this week ago, I like Anthony Mackie a lot, and I just haven't. It came out the day after the Justice League, and Aaron was over superheroes after the Justice League 4 hours overlook, and I just haven't. I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, it's
By
good.
The time Loki's on.
It's about halfway through. It's only 6 episodes, so you.
Oh, is it only gonna be 6?
Yeah, apparently.
But it feels like an hour. Right?
It's probably wouldn't be good as a movie, but it's gonna be great as a show, and they shoot it like a movie, so it's I would be curious to watch it all and go.
And I think we've talked about this so many times because Star Wars is going to be the same: Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, Andor, Acolyte, Ahsoka. What is going to make Rogue Squadron pop in a way that's going to force not you and I to the theater, but the average fans to the theater when they can watch it at home? And maybe it's the fact that I haven't seen the Falconeer, but maybe that works as a show. But you're like, well, it doesn't have that movie je ne sais quoi.
But you know what? it's apparently like it's the number one premiere on Disney Plus, which is maybe not that great of a thing because it's only really so much content. But it's great, it's bringing people in.
Yeah, it's great, but it also has the most subscribers. But also, those subscribers watched it.
Yeah.
So you can argue, well, it has more than Mandalorian did. Yeah.
So that's like, if you're like, I don't think anyone was chomping at the bit for, it's not Snyder Cut desire. Like, no one's like, I need to know about Winter Soldier and Falcon. But like, in relation to Rogue Squadron, like, if you stamp a Star Wars logo on it, or like you stamp a Marvel logo on it, like, will people just automatically watch it? Or at least, if you like this, we also made this. Like, but
are people have people enjoyed the most recent Star Wars movies enough to be like, well, I'm getting on TV, I might as well go to the theater? That's
hard to say.
Yeah, but you know, I think the Falcon show, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think was probably the most hyped Marvel movie of the. I think it had the most potential of the three that they announced: the WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier. When they were first announced, no footage, no anything. That's the show that I was like, oh, that sounds interesting to me as a casual Marvel fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the WandaVision trailer dropped and it was like, oh, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
But I think that's the show that kind of, and I think Loki, I think people love Tom Hiddleston. So I think that show, and the way Disney's got to look at it is like, okay, this was the most watched premiere, but Loki's got to be, I mean, I don't think Bad Batch will, but Loki's got to be, like, Loki has to beat Falcon in some way.
Yeah.
Right, and I can't see it not. Like, people, and so I haven't seen anything except for one. I think it was Instagram post with Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson talking.
Yeah,
did I send that to you?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember what it was, but I laughed and I was like, "Oh, maybe I will be interested in this show."
Yeah, that's one of the things that stood out for me for the first trailer. I'm like, "Oh, Owen Wilson's in this," and he's like in some like cosmic whatever. I'm like, "This looks cool." But you know what? We also live in an era where a lot of people will go on stuff like Netflix or Disney Plus and see the suggested things and will watch it.
Netflix doesn't have suggested anymore.
Yeah. Isn't there like the top in Canada or whatever? I guess it's
I don't do that because I don't like what other people like. Because people like garbage.
That is true.
Like, it's like top 10. I'm like, this is the worst top 10.
But that's my point, though.
Yes.
Like, people will watch the recommended thing.
Yeah, Aaron's like, but it's number 1 in Canada. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like that. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And you know what? All Disney Plus has to do is like be like, this is what you want to watch this week. What?
Yeah.
So. And they do that, right? Like the Dragon movie is like always like right there. It's like, you want to watch this? I'm like, not for $35.
Yeah.
I'll see you in June.
Yeah, exactly. I'll definitely watch that movie, but like,
I'm not against paying $35, but it's going to be a movie. Like, I will pay. I already told Mortal Kombat. I'm really like thinking about it.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Star Wars, 100%. Ghostbusters, I would. Yeah. That movie's just not. If I had little kids that were like, we gotta watch it, I probably would cave and do it.
Yeah.
But I don't, and my dog's not that interested in it.
The rabbit. I know what you mean. It's like I kind of want to see Black Widow, but I'm not paying $35 to just watch it at home. Coincidentally, like, I feel like Black Widow could exist in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that type of show, or that could have been a series. Like, it has the same vibe. I mean, not knowing what Black Widow is about.
Well, I think Black Widow does tie into this show, and I've heard that it was supposed to, but because of COVID,
yeah, that's right.
But anyway, whatever. I'm not. Black Widow's not a movie that I'm interested. You know what? To be fair, none of the Marvel movies coming out I'm that interested in. Now, we haven't seen a trailer for any of them other than Black Widow. And like you, I like David Harbour.
Yeah.
But Black Widow just never. I mean, the Hawkeye's a show. See, if Black Widow's a show, I'd be more inclined to watch it than a movie.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why do I need to watch this movie of a dead character? Spoiler alert.
What?
And like, everyone's like, we're going to find out what happened in wherever that place was that her and Hawkeye mentioned. I don't care. I've never been. I forgot about that the minute we left the theater. I've never went like, what happened there? Never. But that's me. That's not you or anyone else. And I hope it does. I hope people go into the movie theater to watch that movie safely. with masks on and a big bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
and a soda.
I missed the theater.
But
you know what? We're less than a month out from Bad Batch coming out on May 4th, right? Because it's April.
May 4th, 2 episodes that week, 70-minute premiere.
Nice. Like, it looks cool. There was a new trailer, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. You don't need to keep making trailers, but we never talked about this because I did watch it. It was like last week. I don't think they showed this before. Young Saw Gerrera is going to be in Bad Batch.
I didn't see the new trailer.
I saw it like last week.
Yeah, no, I skipped it.
And I never brought it up to you. It looked good, but yeah, it's like Saw Gerrera, what he looked like in Clone Wars, except he has a few like what looked like scars on his face. He hasn't become like I believe it's the same guy that voiced the original one, but it's not Forrest Whitaker. It doesn't sound like Forrest Whitaker. So I'm like, cool. Like that's a nice runner through all. So he's definitely.
Saw Gerrera is such a funny character.
Yeah.
Like whatever Clone Wars character, Rogue One, Forrest Whitaker, and they just ran with it.
Yeah.
And he's been this glue that keeps showing up, and I love it. I love that he's in. He's in Fallen. I thought he was going to be bigger in Fallen Order, but he just kind of shows up, does this thing in Fallen Order, leaves, and I'm like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
exactly.
You know, from the trailer or the game, whatever it was, I was like, I expected more. But when you're playing it, I was like, can't wait for Saw to show up. And then when he shows up and leaves, I never was like, when's Saw coming back? It was always like, oh, his.
Yeah.
I never went back to. I never thought of him again. I'm like, he played his part and moved on, and I was like, that's great. That's all he needs to be.
He's like the crazy version of Hondo. You're just like, oh, there he is, and then you're like, but like Hondo's like, I like this guy. Saw, it's like. Huh.
Saw's intense. I think
so. He's in it. And there also seems to be some young girl character that gets to tag along with the Bad Batch.
Yeah, she's yeah. So I'm 70-minute on it. It was May 4th, a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So 70 minutes, and then you get another episode like the next day, which is
smart. Yeah, it's a Tuesday,
which is awesome.
But yeah,
I'm looking at what day May 4th is. I don't think
it's Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. Look at that. So yeah, that and then that and man,
Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, they're shooting stuff. They're not talking a lot about Book of Boba Fett, and that's going to come out at Christmas, but.
I think that's smart though. They kind of did that with the Mandalorian. Like we got that one image of Mando on set. Remember, for like 6 months we had to live with that. Then they showed the reel at Celebration that they hid from everybody.
Yeah.
But Boba Fett, we already know what he looks like, so we don't need to see a shot of him on set. I'm really excited for that show. There's just so much. I'm excited. It's not just that show. It's the fact that show, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and if they're still doing the Rangers of the New Republic, how they're all going to coexist together in the same timeline.
Yeah.
That excites me because there's just so much you could do together. Because it's always like, well, what is Star Wars if not X? And maybe and you know, it's like, well, if you want to go past Star Wars, you have to bring Star Wars with you. You can't start from scratch. You have to bring it with you. And I feel like that's what they're doing. Where they're going to create their own little Star Wars world, but it's within the world of Star Wars that we know and love, and it's a brilliant way for them to expand the franchise with making it new, but keeping it familiar at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see, right? We will see. I'm just kind of. I think this is the year for Disney Plus. Like. They have all this stuff dropping, and it seems to be like they have new content, either Marvel or Star Wars, every week, apparently.
I think next year is going to be the biggest release year for them of all.
Because like they are working on stuff, right? So
because next year they're going to be overthrown with Star Wars and overthrown with Marvel.
And it's going to be interesting too, because it's like. Normally that would be like, oh, that's too many things all at once. But like there is a high probability that outside of, people don't want to spend money, people are going to want to do entertainment. So like I could see like, oh, there's 3 big blockbuster premieres this week, and they all do like gangbusters because people are going to the theater multiple times. Maybe, I don't know. It's really hard to tell. We're here in Ontario. They've locked us down again. But when I go out for a walk on Easter Sunday, there are people everywhere.
Back to James' political rant. Everyone's just fed up and they've had enough.
Right? So it's like there's so many variables that could because I could say this and then someone listening is like, no, I don't want to go to a movie theater. It's disgusting. And it's maybe
I don't know. A movie theater, but everybody is aching to do something. And I think when the opportunity presents, I don't think a theater right now at whatever capacity, I don't think people are good. Sure. And, I don't think it's like, as much as I want to see Mortal Kombat, I don't think people are going to go and line up to see Mortal Kombat in Ontario right now. But I honestly believe that if Avengers 12, whatever the next one is, were to come out in the next 6 months, people would go.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's true for Star Wars yet. I don't think that's true of like Rogue Squadron. But if it was like episode 9 or an episodic one, maybe. I think it's the event films that people I think are going to go back and people are going to get excited to go because, if the patio is open, patios are going to be packed. People want to go up. People want to go out and experience life and they're sick. I was talking to my friend and he was like, kids are running around the street all playing together.
Yeah.
And he's like, kids, they don't know each other. But it's like, kids are going to have to be kids. At some point, kids are going to have to go back to being kids and running around. That energy is not going to go away in their sleep.
I drove down a random neighborhood road and there was 3 basketball games, when you have a basketball net on your driveway in eye shot. It's like, there's a basketball game and there's another basketball game and there's another basketball. Like, people don't want to be inside anymore. They are losing their minds. But I mean, it's like you can't blame anybody. So it's like that's a good thing, I guess, for the future. I don't know. Like, it's just we gotta get vaccinated. Do it. Anyways.
Never tell me the odds.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. These following people are going to get vaccinated because they're our Patreons. No, that's not. Actually, I'm curious if anyone on our Patreon list is vaccinated. If you are, let us know. We want to know what it's like. If you want to support us, because we love to talk about social justice warriors, and how our politics are falling apart in this whatever, you can go on down to patreon.com/rebelscumpodcast and check out what we got for special people that like to support us. Special people like Heidi Feder, executive producer, Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Randy Kenobi, Mary Kristen Aton, Jeff Wilson, Phil Stanifor, Sooner Thrawn, Scott D, Josh Price, Matt W,
Raz, Frank Perkins, Neil Lowry, D, Raven Spencer, Cosmic Girl 02, Gleek Play 1, Disney Desi, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, Aaron Quinton, Girls with Sabers, and the Den of Nerds.
The amount of times we read this list, you think we would have them memorized by... If you put me on the spot, I wouldn't be able to put them in this order.
No, it's the order is the tough part.
Yeah.
But
what are the odds today, James?
I don't know. All right, the odds today are brought to us by Patreon. Thank you so much for all of your support. Let us know what your odds are in the comments down below. And whoever gets all 3 of them right will win nothing. Never tell me the odds. C-3PO and R2-D2 will appear on the Andor show at some point in time. Will these 2 characters appear on the Andor show?
100%.
Wow.
I feel like if you put Bale in there, it would be. I guess they haven't been in everything, but it would be weird if they didn't, especially if. I don't know. Yeah, if we see Bale Organa, it'd be weird if we didn't. I think. I don't know. He's not really owned by them. Or
the
is
Blue
he?
Jays 162.
Oh, take that. They messed with Texas. Boom.
I'm gonna go 35%. There's a part of me that says just let them be. Don't bring them back. Just let them be. 35%. Sure. But I mean, there's also a part of me that says Star Wars is R2 and 3PO. Never tell me the odds.
Maybe don't make them a main character, but just drop them in at one point.
Like in Rogue One.
Yeah.
best part of the whole movie, Rogue One. Was
Yeah,
R2
exactly.
It was not Vader in the hallway, and it wasn't watching everyone get fried. It was 3PO and R2 going, "What? Where are we going?" Never told me odds. Young Lando appearing in Andor. Will Lando also appear? Young Donald Glover appear in Lando.
40%. I think they were still talking about that at one point, but like, who knows? I don't believe anything until I see a trailer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 41%. But it'd be cool. And if they're gonna do that Lando show and it's with the young Lando or whatever, you know, it's a way to connect everything, connect the
Absolutely.
batches. Speaking of batches, will Hondo appear in the Bad Batch?
100%. Hondo.
Hondo percento.
Boom.
What? Why?
Why not? Like, I get does Filoni take full creative responsibility for Hondo? Yeah, right. He created him.
Probably.
His show created him, at least. So like, it'd be weird if he wasn't. But like, what do I know? But like, it would be perfect. He's the guy you can throw in there. Boom, Hondo percent.
I'm gonna go 87%. Because
Nice,
you have to.
They have the animation for it already. Like, he's there. Just put him. No, it would be amazing if they did something like the whole season. If you look carefully, you can see Hondo in the background, and then later the last episode is like what he's been doing through the whole series. If they were to do like a second season, like they did an episode of Community like that, where like Abed's in the background doing something.
You know how Lucas always said that he thought R2 was a storyteller, and he was always like recounting the when he left and Filoni's now throwing in, he's like, no, it's actually Hondo doing all the stories. It's all Hondo. Those are our odds. Let us know what your odds are in the comments down below.
I just imagine Jim Cummings, the voice actor for Hondo, just reading all the scrolls.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Let them speak. Civil War, Hondo. No, that's more like
your Watto. Your Watto.
Watto, yeah.
I can't do Hondo. I'm not going to try. You ready for the news?
Absolutely. The Hondo news.
Hondo news. Da 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 da. Hondo news. Da 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 Hondo. I accidentally turned off my mic too early. Da 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 da. Hondo news. Now here's Rock.
Hondo news. I didn't even intend to say it like that. News you need to know right now. Biggest news story today, and it's biggest because I saw 4 posts for it. The Lego Star Wars : The Skywalker Saga has been delayed, and unfortunately, the release date is still unknown. TT Games, who has developed Lego video games for everything from the Lord of the Rings to DC and Marvel and beyond, made the announcement on its Twitter feed, causing millions of voices to crowd and say, "Yes! Fair plays, lad. Take your time." I don't know what that means. I gotta stop cutting and pasting all this. A representative from TT has said, "All of us at TT Games and are working hard to make Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga the biggest and best ever Lego game, but we're going to need more time to do it. We won't be able to make our intended spring release date, but we'll provide updated launch timing as soon as possible. So sorry, but you know, it'll come out." In news that is probably not true, and I had to double check, wasn't an old April Fool's story. There's a new report that Keanu Reeves has already been cast in an upcoming Star Wars Old Republic series, but not as former Jedi Knight Revan. Instead, Sith Lord Revan. Is that right? Darth Revan, that's the word. I was like, what am I missing there? Instead, Reeves will reportedly be playing a new Star Wars character called Sith King Valar in a live action style animated series on Disney Plus. This calls back to the rumors of Reeves playing a role in the Star Wars franchise. last year when fan art portrayed him as Darth Revan. So, you know, it's true because it's on the internet. In our final news, we already talked about it, but get on Disney Plus, check out the vintage Star Wars because it's there. You gotta see it. Caravan of Courage, story of the faithful Wookiee, Battle for Endor, Ewoks, and Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars series, both seasons. It's all there. Both seasons of Ewoks. All that's missing is droids. Go and do yourself a favor and see what they used to think an expanded universe Star Wars should look like. And this has been your Hollow News.
Da, 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 da. Hollow News. Great news.
Boom.
Great news.
That was basically the big stuff this today.
Lego Star Wars. Everyone's been clamoring for it, and keep clamoring.
It's kind of crazy how synonymous Lego and Star Wars has come together. Like, I feel like every other week on Hollow News is something about Lego.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, Lego's a huge business. It's the only toy kids play with anymore is Lego. And it's so expensive.
Yeah. There was a story that Amazon finally had availability for buying the Mos Eisley Cantina set that was notoriously sold out so quickly. And I read it the day the article came out, and within 2 hours of it coming out, it was sold out. People were selling that set. It was apparently $120 because it's big, but people were selling it on Amazon for $900. I'm
what?
Get out of here!
I bought 2.
Yeah, it was you're stuck in the house. What are you gonna do? So,
top 5.
Top 5
Ewoks from the Ewoks cartoon. It's on Disney Plus. Watch it if you haven't. I saw them on Ice when I was a kid. Ice Capades, Ewoks.
Oh,
fantastic! Man. Greatest day of my life. Don't tell my wife.
My wife.
It was awesome. Number 5, Chief Chirpa.
Number 5, Master Logray, as they call him. I had to look it up. I was like, is there different names? Yeah, they say Master Logray instead of just Logray.
I'm a huge Paploo fan. Paploo. I feel like we're on Family Feud right now. Show me Paploo.
My number 4 is going to be shared by 2 because it's Nippet and Wily. Because those are I remember those names. And Nippet is the baby Ewok you see in Return of the Jedi, but is a little bit older in this show. But they're always together, like Wily Kit and Wily Cat, which is hilarious because it's Wily.
All the Paul Dini you can handle.
Yeah.
And Princess Nisa.
Oh, I put her higher because I put Latara, the other female lead in the show, vying for Wicket's affections.
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. Well, number 2 is Latara.
And my number 2 is Princess Nisa. The reason I bought Women of Star Wars, the book, because I opened it and it was a painted picture of Princess Nisa. I'm like, whoa!
So when I went to the infamous Ewoks on Ice, I got a banner. I got the Ewok thing, the Wicket, and I got my sister. Not that I paid it; I was 4. Yeah. But we got my sister Kristen the Princess Nisa banner. That was on my wall till I was 18.
Oh my god!
It was the greatest thing ever. Number 1's Wicket.
Number 1 is Wicket.
Well, I don't know. We should have done this without Wicket. It was
yeah.
Wicket.
I like it because on the IMDb page for this, it says Wicket Wistari Warwick because usually it's Wicket W Warwick. And I was just like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, I like reading because it puts I didn't know Deej was technically. No, I think I did know that he's Wicket's father. Because the movies, he has 2 brothers. I know that for sure. But But yeah, it's just like there's a whole bunch of Warwicks. I'm like, this is awesome.
I know they're all Warwicks. This was my. I'm always surprised that this cartoon was only on for like 45 seconds because I remember watching it like for years, but I guess it was only 1 year of my life. But I remember I was obsessed with this show. It was my favorite show. I watched Droids a lot, but Ewoks was a show that was my ultimate favorite. And I'm so excited that it's on Disney+.
And it's got Canadian roots because it was animated or it was produced by Nelvana, which is a now defunct Canadian animation company. And I'm just looking at it now. Paul Dini.
Yeah, Paul Dini
worked on it. Who worked on Batman the Animated Series?
If you watch the documentary on the Batman Animated Series, the writers are like, and then we got Paul Dini, who was on the Ewok show, and everyone wanted to be on that show, and he was on that show. It was like the Ewok show was like the animated writers show to be on. I guess every animated writer wanted to be on Ewoks in the 80s, and Paul Dini was on it. And he still writes the Batman games, right? The video games for Batman. Paul Dini, I
think so.
He wrote
him and Bruce Timm are always like affiliated in some way.
Yeah. So it's it's a great little show. I think there's a few other names involved in the behind the scenes of it. Not, of course, George Lucas. I think Rian Johnson was on one of the episodes. That's when it got canceled.
Yeah, he ruined our childhood. Do you not remember?
Literally. All right. This was a quick episode. I'm sorry.
It was. Well, there's not much news to talk about.
210 episodes. We went short.
Yeah. But
I can show you something here. It's Captain Phasma. People listening are like, well, I don't care. They're done. They've left anyway.
We should start a Mandela effect that it's like people say that it's actually Captain Plasma.
Have you seen the Shazam Mandela effect?
Like Kazam?
Shazam, the show Shazam, the movie Shazam with Toronto.
Yeah, I know the Kazam one where they think Sinbad is in it, not Shaq.
Okay, I'm gonna try. So Shazam, everyone's claiming they remember seeing this throne room scene in the theater, and the director's like, "No, we've never put that in the movie ever." And everyone's like, "No, I saw it." And I think there's a behind the scenes where you see it, and people are like, "No, that's in the movie," and he's like, "No, it's never been in the movie." And hold on, I'll show you right now. I'm gonna send you the link right now.
Because like in the place where Shazam is, right? Like his like where he meets the wizard, right?
Yeah, so at the end everybody sits on a throne and everybody's convinced they've seen it, and the director's like, "No, we've never done that."
That's interesting because you
remember it, right?
I saw that too.
Yeah. I think everybody, because I was like, oh yeah, because before I saw there was Mandela Effect, I was like, oh, there's that scene from the movie, and I just sent you the link, and we won't bore anybody anymore with that. But Star Wars, things. Let us know what your top 5 Ewoks are in the comments below. Also, they have to be from the cartoon, though. They can't just be ones that are solely in the movies. But the Ewok movies are also on there, which is phenomenal. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. Probably one of the best. But let's stay positive on the Star Wars. Have a good time enjoying it. Next week, we're going to have a longer show. We're going to have a supersized show next week, bro. My internet's dying. So we'll have a supersized show next week. It'll be the time. Maybe my mic will work by then. And we'll talk more Star Wars on episode 211. But this was the 210th one. Anything else you want to say?
Wear a mask. Get vaccinated. Let's go back to normal. Okay, bye.
I think we've been saying that for a year. All right, everyone. He's Brock. I'm James. Thanks so much for watching, for listening. Please give us a like, a subscribe, a 5-star review, or 2 or whatever. But 5 is great. And may the Force be with you. I will say, and he will never say it because he was always Scum.
Rebel Scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.